Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today's class. Sorry for the short delay. I was just in the temple, just returned. We'll quickly start. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are on to chapter number 6, and in chapter number 6 we have 64 items of sadhana bhakti. We'll be discussing the first primary 20 items of sadhana bhakti, and then the 44 other additional items of sadhana bhakti, where what are the different items of sadhana bhakti. We'll just try to just see that also. So primarily there are 20 angas of bhakti. Actually, there are 64 angas of bhakti, but we are going to first see the 20 angas of bhakti, which are very important. And in this, the first 11 are what you have to do, and the next, the first 10 are what you have to do, and the next 10 are what you don't have to do, do's and the don'ts, right? So, pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means what I should accept in bhakti, and nivritti means what I should reject in bhakti. So these are the one. Let's discuss one by one. So Guru Pad Ashray, taking shelter of the Guru, accepting a shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, Srila Rupa Gosvāmī lists the most crucial item first. Following this, one principle opens the doors to all the other items of sadhana, because the spiritual master will instruct one about the execution and significance of them all. The importance of this item becomes clearer by considering the evidence. Srila Rupa Goswami quotes, Tasmad Gurum Prapate Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. So anybody who is inquisitive, then he has to inquire and take the shelter of the Guru, and that is the best path for him. Only a person who has understood the futility of material sense gratification can approach a bona fide spiritual master. So Saropadi Vinurmukta Tatpravani Nirmala Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. See, this is one of the another like definition of bhakti, that means engaging all our senses in the service of the Supreme Lord, who is the master of all. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevaya. When the spirit soul surrenders renders service under the Supreme Lord, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, that is Sarva Upadi. Upadi means designations. Vinur Muktam. Vinur Muktam means he is freed. And then one's senses are purified simply by being employed. Tat pravartena nirmalam. Nirmal means being purified. By being employed in the service of the Lord. Rishikesha, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. So when somebody is employed in the service of the Lord, then there are two effects. One is Saropadi Vinobhuktam, means he is freed from all material designations. And second is his senses are purified, that is Tat Pravartina Nirmalam. That way. Second Anga of Bhakti is then Tasmad Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. Then after Initiation, acquiring knowledge, accepting initiation from the spiritual master, receiving instruction. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī again quotes Prabhupada, my dear king, Prabhuda, my dear king, a disciple has to accept the spiritual master not only as a spiritual master, but also as the representative of the Supreme Personal Godhead and the Super Soul. Which means what? Our spiritual masters, they are representative of the Supreme Lord and the Paramatma both. So, whatever activities we are doing, there is a direct connection. Whenever we are doing any activity, we should not think that whatever activities I am doing, they are not known by my spiritual master. If somebody is doing something wrong, you should not think, oh, who is seeing me? But there is Paramatma sitting in your heart, right? Because when how the science goes, that whenever a jiva desires to, uh, you know, worship the Supreme Lord, or he's inclined towards, or he's desiring, to establish a relationship between the Lord, then immediately the Paramatma sitting in that jiva's heart, he jumps out and he comes in front of that jiva in the form of the spiritual master. And that's how there is a connection between um, the spiritual master and Paramatma. Both are connected. We should not think that, like I remember once when I was sitting in front of my Guru Maharaj, and I had come, I was introducing one new person to Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, she's a lawyer and all. And all of a sudden, and there were many others also who were sitting in that room. It was not only me and the other devotee. But then Maharaj was coughing. And while coughing, Maharaj was saying that one of my disciples, he's drinking cigarette. See, now Maharaj knows, Guru Maharaj knows that who is drinking cigarette, but he did not mention the name. So when Maharaj was coughing, he was telling me that one of my disciples is drinking cigarette. So then there is a direct connection between the spiritual master and disciple and Paramatma. The Paramatma is the one who will guide the spiritual master, saying that so and so devotee is doing something wrong in some other part of the world. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. In other words, after rejecting material life and taking shelter of a spiritual master, one must accept him with full faith. Diksha is the spiritual master's formal acceptance of the disciple's commitment and faith. Without this commitment, a disciple cannot possess the unyielding faith required to properly assimilate the spiritual instruction of the Guru. See, Diksha is exactly like, you are committed to a particular relationship, and you take responsibility of that relationship, you take accountability of that relationship. That relationship should have the highest priority in your life. As soon as we wake up, our first priority should be chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as instructed by our spiritual master. And that's how we are accountable also, and we are responsible also towards that particular relationship. So, this particular relationship is not a very casual relationship where we could just break that relationship. Because nowadays, if you see, people are very fragile to breaking relationships. Immediately, they want to break relationships, whether it be the father or son relationship, mother or son relationship, or brother or sister relationship, or brother brother relationship, or husband wife relationship, or somebody is engaged. Immediately, as soon as something does not go according to their own whims and ways, then people just tend to break relationships. But the guru and disciple relationship is not like that. The disciple may leave the guru, but the guru does not leave the disciple. The guru will definitely pray for the disciples overall well-being always to the Supreme Lord. And That is what Prabhupada over here is saying. One should learn Srimad Bhagavatam seriously and with all respect and veneration from the spiritual master. Now, somebody might be asking that why learn Bhagavatam from the spiritual master, right? So, just give me a minute. When we are learning Bhagavatam from the spiritual master, or we are hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam from a spiritual master, then while hearing, there is a sense of responsibility toward a spiritual master, that see, my spiritual master is giving me the highest knowledge. Now, even in return, I should obey the orders of my spiritual master and fall in those Bhagavatam classes only. The instructions are directly given to every disciple. So now my spiritual master is expecting this list from me. And we write down that particular list. So whatever he's expecting from me, okay, whether it is a recording or directly you're hearing in person from your spiritual master, then we write down those notes. Then we come back home and we meditate that, okay, my spiritual master has given these certain instructions. How will I able to imbibe? Now, when the spiritual master is giving certain instructions in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, which means that he is instilling certain samskaras into us which we did not have previously. Certain samskaras means habits. Like the spiritual master said to please do not do any prajalpa, means unnecessary talks or some mundane talks. Now, what we do is we write it down and we say, no, I don't have to do prajalpa. And prajalpa can be in many ways. Prajalpa can be, just scrolling screens, watching Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or talking for hours and hours on the phone to a particular relative or a friend, criticizing this person and that person, or to a devotee, or just wandering around and not doing anything. These are all prajalpas. Prajalpa means wasting that particular time, and not engaging your time in glorifying the Supreme Lord or serving the Supreme Lord in that particular time. Say, for example, you have done screen scrolling or talking on the phone for 1 hour, then that is included into Prajalpa where you have not glorified the Lord, and that is called Prajalpa, means unnecessary talk. So, when the spiritual master is giving instructions during the Bhagavatam class, we should hear very seriously and with all respect, thinking that here is the greatest well wisher of mine, and he is there to improve me of my past bad samskaras which I have, and instill new samskaras into my consciousness. And when we, with respect and veneration, we hear from our spiritual master, then we advance in bhakti. So, see, there are two things which generally the spiritual master tries to give us. Two things are how will you improve your sadhana and how will you improve your sadachar also. Because a lot of our sadhana depends on our sadachar. If we are talking harsh, if we are blaspheming, if we are having malaise, if we are having pride, ego, envy, then our sadhana will impact to a greater extent. If we are talking loose, then it will affect our sadhana a lot. So when the spiritual master in the Bhagavatam class is giving certain things, whether it is a live class or whether you are personally sitting in front of your spiritual master, that will be nothing like that. Or if you're hearing his recordings, then we should understand that my spiritual master is giving me the highest knowledge which is going to help me come more closer towards the Supreme Lord. And in that faith, that is the thing, and accept him in full faith. Accept the spiritual master in full faith means only accept his instructions also with full faith, that yes, he's the only well-wisher of mine. See, when we take initiation now, at that point of time, um, the spiritual master, he actually takes away all our past sins also. And in this world, nobody can be as what do you say, as compassionate as the spiritual master who is going to take away all your sins from millions and millions of lifetimes and is going to nullify those sins. So if I'm having, heaps and heaps of sins, he's going to completely eradicate those sins from my consciousness and give me a new beginning. That is when it says Diksha means a new beginning, right? So, who is more merciful than our spiritual master who has taken away? Even my own parents, our own relatives, our own near and weird ones, they do not have the capacity also to take our sins, and they do not have the right knowledge also to take our sins. Even if they want to take, they do not have the right, what do you say, mechanism to take away our sins. So the spiritual master is an expert person who knows how to take the sins of the disciple also, and he knows how to engage also the disciple. See, I always tell in my IDC classes also that when somebody is getting initiated, there is a yagya being performed, right? And there is ahutis and swaha and everything that's going on. But see, my consciousness is like a wet log of wood, like a wet wood, right? And now, when I try to ignite fire in that wet wood, what happens is the fire won't be ignited, right? Because the wood is wet. And what is this wet wood representing? This wood is representing my consciousness, which is filled with so many sins and ego and pride and anarthas and all. Now, with this, nobody can ignite fire into the wet wood. What does the spiritual master do during that particular yagya? Is that he actually dries up that wood. Means what? He retracts all the sins and all the anarthas that are present into our consciousness. And when he dries up, and then with the mantra that he is chanting, he is able to ignite fire into the uh, dry wood, which is representing my consciousness. Dry wood is my consciousness now because abhi dry kar diya. And with that, then he is able to ignite the fire of Krishna consciousness into my consciousness. Now, this is a mechanism that is happening during the initiation, which is not being seen, but this is what I have heard from my seniors, and this is what I am able to give you all also the same thing. And when the spiritual master is giving us a name, he's giving us a name for a lifetime. He's giving the name according to my psychophysical nature, and he's giving me a mission for lifetime. So when a particular person gets initiated, not only his name changes, Nam, Gun, Roop, and Leela. So not only his name changes, but his Roop also means his external form also changes, right? Initially, he might be wearing any nonsense clothes, but now he is actually completely into Vaishnava attire, right? Uh, and his qualities also change, and his activities also change. So first he's changing his activities, and then those activities are leading him to good qualities. So imagine, like for example, the spiritual master has given me a name, and Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi. And Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi is wearing mini skirts and moving around, in the whole world, or moving around in some very abhadra, you can say, clothes. How does that suit my name? Or Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi name has been given, but she is smoking cigarettes, or she is, moving around with n number of men, right? So we have to be very careful that when the spiritual master has given us a name, we should act according to a name. He has given us a mission for a lifetime. Mission means what? Krishna Rupa, who is Krishna Garup, means what? Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi. So when I got to know my name, of course, when initiation was given, I didn't know what is the meaning of my name actually. Generally, the spiritual master gives you the meaning, but my initiation happened very in Tatkal, so I didn't get to know the meaning of my name. But when I was reading His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj's one of the books, then he's saying that another name for Guru is Krishna Rupa. Krishna ka hi roop hai Guru. So now the activities also change. So the activities won't be that, you are doing something nonsense. So your roop also changes, which means what, we are completely into Vaishnava attire, we're completely into decent attires, right? Your leelas also change, means your activities also change. What previously you were doing, those activities had only sense gratificatory, what you said, desires. But now those activities change to pleasing Krishna. Any activity that we are doing, like we're chanting, we are doing deity worship. Now, I used to never chant before, coming to ISKCON. Maybe just a few names of Lord Ram and sometimes Krishna. And I did hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from childhood, and we used to occasionally chant, not very much, but before coming to ISKCON, just on and off, we knew the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? And uh, we didn't know what is Bhagavatam, what is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, we just knew the name that, okay, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield. But what is inside the Bhagavad Gita, we didn't know. So after coming and taking initiation from the spiritual master, all these things are gifts from our spiritual master. And the best gift that the spiritual master has given us is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? So these all uh, gifts that the spiritual master has given us, and gives a name, is given as a mission, is given us good activities to do. All our activities change with chanting, deity worship, serving in the temple, cooking for him, so many other, making jewelry for him, making flower garlands for him. Previously, when before we came to ISKCON, we never made any flower garlands. At least I never made any flower garlands or jewelry for the Lord. So all these activities change. Naam. And then when the activities change, our gunas also change. Gunas means जो हमारी वृत्ति थी पहले of enjoying a sense gratification and going here and going there to enjoy our senses, that also gunas change. And such a drastic 360-degree turn actually happens when a particular person takes initiation from the spiritual master. So, accepting initiation. Then, serving the spiritual master with faith and confidence. So, this second item, Prabhupada instructed that hearing and speaking Srimad Bhagavatam is the religious process which elevates one to the platform of serving and loving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when we are hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and when we are speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam, two ways, somebody who's doing Shravan and somebody who's doing Kirtan. Okay. Now, that person is elevated to the platform of serving Krishna very lovingly. He knows that my permanent or eternal relationship is with Krishna, and I have my life, or the mission of my life is only to serve Krishna and Guru. Execution of item 2 elevates one to the item of 3. So, when somebody is taking Diksha, then he gets elevated to, he's accepting, he's having faith in the spiritual master, right? And then what is happening, that when he is accepting the spiritual master with full faith, then he feels like serving the spiritual master with faith and confidence, that yes, my spiritual master has the full capacity, or he has the full power to take me back home, back to Godhead. See, we should not think any spiritual master, nowadays people have this wrong, what do you say, vision, or wrong conception, that the That spiritual master who has many disciples all around the world can only take me back home, back to Godhead. And the others who do not have much disciples, they're not very much capable enough of taking me back home, back to Godhead. This actually mentality has to be removed. Every spiritual master has the full capacity to take his disciple back home, back to Godhead. Whether he has more disciples, whether he has less disciples, that is not, a impediment. Okay. And we should have full faith in the words of a spiritual master. Like some gurus, if you see, they don't accept many they don't accept many disciples. The simple reason is that they just want to focus on a small group and, help that group and focus or concentrate on that group. And they are more into many other services also. So what they think that let me just focus on, this small group of disciples. And every spiritual master has a different mood, right? That somebody will think that let me just focus on the small group. Somebody will think that no, let me be compassionate and, initiate people in hundreds. So every spiritual master has his own mood, but in all faith, every spiritual master is able to take his disciple back home, back to Godhead, provided this disciple has complete faith and confidence in the spiritual master. So, even if I'm more educated than my spiritual master, and my spiritual master is less educated, that does not mean that I see my spiritual master as less. Externally, you might be, but internally, he is far more ahead because he's 24 by 7 connected to the Supreme Lord. So, when we hear faithfully, then actually we can elevate ourselves to the loving service of the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord. So, first, faith in my spiritual master. And how does that faith come? Do you know? That faith comes by hearing from him regularly. See, if we don't hear from our spiritual masters on a daily basis, we will not be connected only. Because connection means following the instructions of the spiritual master. But if we don't hear only, we won't know only what are his instructions, right? And since we have Purushottam month coming up, we might take some real small good vows that I want to hear my spiritual master every day. Even if he's giving a 2 hour lecture, maybe you could just break it that half an hour morning and half an hour evening. 1 hour a day I will hear my spiritual master, which is not very difficult for anyone. Srila Rupa Goswami supports this with a famous verse in which Krishna states that the Acharya should be accepted as the Lord's very self. Understanding the importance of service to the Supreme Lord and knowing the spiritual master to be non different from him, the disciple must serve the Guru with strong faith. There is no difference between the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. Why? Because the spiritual master comes to fulfill the mission of the Supreme Lord, and that is why there is no difference between the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord himself. He has taken that responsibility of claiming the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. And Krishna's desire is that only. So, like father, like son, Krishna desires that all these Baddha Jivas or conditioned souls come back to me. But how will they come back? They are so adamant, they are so, stubborn that they don't want, or they're so ignorant in their innocence that they don't want. And then Krishna actually sends his representative who has the exact bhav of Krishna's mood and mission. The spiritual master exactly knows what is the mood and mission of Krishna. And capturing that mood and mission of Krishna, the spiritual master actually descends on this earth and he uh, he actually liberates the conditioned soul. The other day, actually, I was hearing one lecture, and in that lecture that Prabhuji was telling that the Acharya, when he comes, he's already the associate of the Supreme Lord. And when he comes as the associate of the Supreme Lord down to the earth, so like when Prabhupada, he was actually mentioning that like how like Prabhupada when he came, so before Prabhupada could come to America, all the Western disciples of Prabhupada were properly placed that to help in the mission of the Lord. So when Prabhupada came, before Prabhupada could come, these small Westerners, small small means by age they were small. So these young devotees, they had already taken birth and they were already there. And when Prabhupada came, immediately Prabhupada started picking, these young disciples. And it was already orchestrated that these are the ones who will be helping Prabhupada's movement and the others will be coming in. And those who are little more, close to Prabhupada or serving more, these were the ones who had come from the spiritual world to help Prabhupada in his mission. And that is why we say that Acharya Avirbhav and Acharya's Tirobhav. Avirbhav means he appears for a particular mission, and once his mission is completed, then the Acharya jo hai, he returns back home, back to Godhead, back to his original seva of serving the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. That way. But in all faith, we should have complete 100% faith in our own spiritual masters, and we should never ever distinguish one spiritual master from another. It is a big, big, big aparadha. All the spiritual masters are Guru Tattva only, they are representing Balaram only, and they all merge into Balaram only. They are just different paths because why they have come into many forms, so that the productivity of this mission can be spread very quickly, right? For example, if only one spiritual master was there in maybe only India or only in America, then the whole world cannot be liberated, right? So different spiritual masters come in different ways to liberate different types of disciples. Like for example, somebody is in Germany, and if the spiritual master speaks to that person in German language, he's able to relate more better with that particular person, right? And somebody who is in India, he speaks some Hindi language or some English language or Gujarati or Telugu or Tamil language. They're able to relate more better, right? So where that particular person has taken birth, if that particular area is covered by a particular spiritual master, then there is more good productivity and more people can be bought at the lotus feet of the Lord. Fourth is following in the footsteps of the saintly person. Sadhu Vartamano Vartanam. Following the rules according to the scriptures and approved by the acharyas. So, we must not only we must follow not only our own spiritual masters, but all bona fide sadhus and acharyas in the line of disciplined succession. There should be no dissension between the guru's teaching and the teachings of Guru Parampara. Like somebody will just say that, I will only follow my guru, I will not follow Prabhupada, I will not follow Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, I will not follow Jeev Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. No. We have to follow every guru that is there in Parampara. And even if it is not there in the parampara line, but there are also, like for example, somebody say, I will not follow Narottam Das Thakur, I will not follow Lokanath Goswami, I will not follow Narhari Sarkar. No, these are all you can say associates of the Lord. So there should be no dissension between the Guru's teaching and the teachings of Guru Parampara, since the qualification of bona fide Guru is that he presents the scriptures strictly according to Guru Parampara. See what is according to Guru Parampara? Why? Because all these associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have directly heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord himself, right? If he doesn't, if he doesn't adhere to him, he is not. It is not devotional service. I think there's a little English problem over here. If he doesn't, adherence to him is not devotional service. So if I am not adhering to the Guru Parampara's instructions, then I am not doing devotional service. Devotional service means with all humility you accept the instructions of the previous acharyas also. Lord Buddha is an example. Even though he is the personality of God himself, his followers are not practicing pure devotional service because, for circumstantial reasons, Buddha did not strictly present the scriptures according to the Guru Parampara. Now, someone might argue that why, being the supreme personality of Godhead, he did not have such strict disciples who could carry on his legacy. See, Lord Buddha came with a mission that there should be no violence and there should be nirvana and all that. Because that time when Buddha came, there was a lot of violence going on. So when he came, he came to eradicate the violence that was happening on human beings also and on the innocent animals also. And that was his mission. His mission was followed and he left. But then those who are followers of Buddha, they are not following. So many Buddhists, they still eat meat. They still kill people. They still kill animals. They still are eating tamoguna items as such. So that is why following in the footsteps of saintly people, whatever Srila Rupa Goswami has given us. And that is why, see, Prabhupada said that we are Rupanugas. Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari in the spiritual world, who's very, very close to, Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And they really know what is the mood of the Lord. They know the mood of Srimati Radharani. They know the mood of the gopis because Manjaris will know the gopis, right? Gopis will know Radharani. Radharani will know Krishna. And still, if you see, yesterday I was talking to my sister that only. We're having a 1 hour, chat on the phone that she was saying that Radharani being the highest. I think I'll send that link also. Very nice link. It is actually who has given this class? His Grace Amarendra Prabhu has given this class. I'll send you all the link. So she was saying that Radharani being the highest devotee of Krishna or the most, lovable devotee of Krishna, still she is so very humble that if I am standing in front of the altar, she is recommending Krishna that, hey, this devotee is more better than me. Please accept her. Now, this is the highest level of humility. And in one of the Back to Godhead magazines, also, I think it was May month only, Back to Godhead magazine. In that May month, Back to Godhead magazine, he's saying that humility means what? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I think I have the Back to Godhead magazine over here. So this article is written by Charu Bali Prabhu, and he's saying that genuine humility does not rise from trying to appear small before others. Rather, it gradually awakens when we recognize a deeper truth that whatever abilities, intelligence, or opportunities we possess are ultimately gifts from the Supreme Lord. Which means what? That every ability, every opportunity to serve the Lord, we should think that it is belonging to Krishna only. ऐसे नहीं सोचना कि oh, I distributed so many books and I did so much of seva and I'm so much consistent from so many years in this particular seva of deity worship or making life members or collection or something. No, that ability is coming or that intelligence is coming or that opportunity also Krishna की वजह से ही मुझे मिल रही है. I'm getting on all these are gifts of the Supreme Lord. See, sometimes if you see that now ability means what? जैसे एक छोटा बच्चा है, he is crawling, and over a period of time he starts walking, which means what? That ability he had, but at that point of time it's not manifesting in that small child when he is crawling. But slowly, slowly, when the right time comes, Krishna gives that small child the ability to, catch hold of the wall or the bed and start walking. Then, when the right time comes, Krishna gives the ability to that child, and it is manifested that he starts running, right? So, that ability, Krishna says, "No, I am the ability in a man." Right? In Bhagavad Gita, we have learned in the 11th, in the 10th chapter, that I am the ability in the man. So that ability also is coming from Krishna. The intelligence is also coming from Krishna. And those opportunities with our sincere, and if we are sincere, then Krishna reciprocates. Okay, let me give an opportunity to her, that she can do this small menial service. So when you desire, then that opportunity is given by Krishna only. We should not think, oh, because मेरी बहुत तीव्र इच्छा थी, इसलिए मुझे मिल ही गई by default. No, that gratitude when we have, then see, there is a big connection between having gratitude and humility. जितना जितना हमारा ग्रैटिट्यूड बढ़ता जाएगा, उसी उसी मात्रा में हमारी ह्यूमिलिटी भी बढ़ती जाएगी. लाइक टू द डिग्री वी आर ग्रेटफुल, टू दैट डिग्री our humility also keeps on increasing, right? So that is why, uh, the truest sign of humility is not feeling that, okay, I've become humble, but we should grow our awareness that everything is coming from Krishna, every ability is coming from Krishna, every opportunity is coming from Krishna, and all this is belonging only to Krishna. He is only the Bhoktaram, he is only the Maheshwaram, he is only the Surid. That awareness we should have every moment. Okay, let's go to the next. Inquiring from eternal religious principles. Okay. The 64 items of sadhana bhakti offer many practical ways to increase our devotional service. One way is to simply make a note of the questions that arise during our study and contemplation of Shastra and put these questions before a senior Vaishnava. This in itself is devotional service. अच्छा, inquiring है ना, तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षिते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनास तत्व दर्शिना. Why you inquire? Because your spiritual master has seen, he's a tattvadarshi. He knows the absolute truth. He's seen the absolute truth. And that is why you inquire from him humbly. So, how to increase? Dekhiye, when somebody is asking questions, which means what? He's interested in, the Supreme Lord. He's interested in the Shastras, and that is why he inquires. And that is why, if you see, our whole Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and scriptures are filled with question and answers. Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukdev Goswami, the sages of Naimisharanya, they are asking Suta Goswami, and Vyasadev himself is asking Narad Muni. So many question answers. Yudhishthir Maharaj is inquiring from Bhishma Dev. Kunti Maharani is inquiring from Lord Krishna himself. So it's like a complete question answers, prayers, and everything like as such. So when we are interested in that particular person, whom we want to reach to, right? So where we understand that, oh, I'm interested in Krishna, but I want to know more about him. But because I don't have the right knowledge, let me ask somebody who is more knowledgeable and who has seen the absolute truth. Right? And that's how we increase our devotional service and we go closer to Krishna. Inquiring. Then he's saying that accepting only what is necessary in dealing with the body. A person with wisdom concerning material objects accepts as much as necessary for maintenance of bhakti. By accepting more or less than that, the person will fail to attain the highest goal. Means what? That swa-nirvana means for the survival of one bhakti. Jitna zaruri hai, utna hi lenge. That what is only necessary, I will accept that only. So what is Śrīla Rupa Goswami saying? The reference from Naradiya Puran indicates that a devotee should accept only that which is necessary for physical maintenance to keep his body and soul intact. Srila Prabhupada has explained the meaning in terms of spiritual practices. It is better if one fixes up a regulative principle according to his own ability and then follows that vow without fail. That will make him advance in spiritual life. So, see, very powerful statement Prabhupada is making over here. One fixes up a regulative principle. Regulative means what? Regularly you do that, right? And according to his own ability, जो ability मेरे पास है उतनी ability के साथ, let me, do that. So if somebody, so for example, if somebody is saying that, okay, I have the ability to do, 8 rounds, I will chant 8 rounds. Okay. Somebody says that, okay, I have the ability of chanting 16 rounds, I'll chant 16 rounds. Somebody has 20 rounds ka ability, he will chant 20 rounds, right? So to fix upon. Now, when once somebody is fixing upon the devotional regulative principles, automatically the lower taste will dwindle away. Na khatam ho jayega. Like, it is in proportion. Jitna jitna in proportion you increase your devotional activities, then the non-devotional activities will keep on decreasing, and the sense gratificatory tendency also will keep on decreasing. It is proportion. How much ever you increase your devotional time or regulative principles, to that degree, all the lower unwanted principles that we had adopted before coming to ISKCON, they all will slowly dwindle away. And we follow certain vows. And that is why, if you see, Prabhupada very intelligently has given us these 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. Okay. So, meat eating, kills our compassionate nature. Daya bhavna jo hai, it kills, right? Or illicit sex will actually kill our habits of cleanliness. Or gambling will not allow us to be truthful in our life. Those who are gamblers, they lie a lot, and lying means only, to hide. Then for that, so much of sins we do to acquire that particular money. We might murder, we might loot, we might rape, so many things we might do. And that is why Prabhupada, the 4 principles, such wonderful principles he's laid down. And these 4 principles are not they are not, you can say that, binding. Somebody say, oh, these are such binding principles, it's so difficult. No, but they are going to liberate you. Like, for example, um, in your own city, if you want to go from one end to the other end of the city, right? But if there were no traffic signals at all, there were no U-turns, there were no, left turns, no right turns, would you be able to reach your destination on the right time? You have to go from one end to the other, and there is a marriage. But there are no signals, there are no traffic rules, nothing. Do you think that you'll reach within, a short span of time? Okay. No, we won't be able to reach because there are no laws only at all, or there are no rules and regulations only at all. Anybody can go anyhow. There'll be so many traffic jams as such. So, these 4 rules and regulations, regulative principles that Prabhupada has given us is to bring us to the platform of being a human being. And with that, he has clubbed the 16 round chanting, which will make us a Vaishnava or a devotee. So if somebody is only following 4 regulative principles, like, there are many, religions who are following this. Like the Jain religion, they're following this, that they don't eat meat and they don't, intoxicate, no liquor, no nothing, all these things. 4 regulative principles, even the Jains are following. But where are they? What level are they at present? But then when you club it with chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then you establish your relationship with Krishna, and then you advance. So these four negative principles or other principles are also there. Like, there are many other regulative principles also that, you follow, that you don't talk to unnecessary talk to, males, you don't unnecessarily talk to females, or you don't unnecessary do any prajalpas. So many other principles have been given, these subtle principles which help us to be focused on the goal of our life that way. Giving respect to Amalaki, Ashwatha, and other items. See, respecting Tulsi, respecting these banyan trees, peepal trees, all these, trees, because, uh, but all living entities who serve the Lord and his devotees. Such living entities include Tulsi, Brahmanas, and cows. We should give respect to them also. Highest respect for the cows by, worshipping the cows, by being compassionate to the cows. So in Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, Jiva Gosvāmī notes that Lord Gopala is pleased when the cows are nicely taken care. He cites the Gautamiya Tantra describing how one should gently scratch the body of the cow, offer a handful of green grass, and reverentially circumambulate with one's right side kept towards her. So all these also, mm, are there, because if we start respecting these living entities who cannot speak, then we'll start respecting those living entities who can speak, right? That way. Sangatyago vidurena bhagavad vimukhera janaha. Giving up the association of those opposed to the Lord, giving up the company of non-devotees. Very, very important. So many times we, royally associate with those who are not devotees. So Rupa Goswami quotes two references. Even if one is forced to live within a cage of iron or in the midst of a blazing fire, he should accept his position rather than live with non-devotees who are through and through against the supremacy of the Lord. And one should prefer to embrace a snake, a tiger, or an alligator rather than associate persons who are worshippers of various demigods and who are impelled by material desire. Underscoring the importance of this item, Srila Prabhupada adds a third reference by paraphrasing a prominent Chaitanya Charitamrita verse that defines a Vaishnava as one who gives up the company of non devotees. See, what is the reason now why Prabhupada is saying this, that giving up the company of non devotees, that when you associate with them, then their consciousness affects our consciousness, or they are, what is that word? They influence our consciousness. We become influenced by their consciousness. But Prabhupada also says that we should learn how to give association and not take association. We should know that what to talk with them and what not to talk with them. Because those who are non-devotee, they are outrightly sense gratificators. And they are the ones who are not following the four regulative principles. So their consciousness can influence our consciousness, and that is why. See, even if we have relatives, okay, those who are non-devotees and those who are not following regulative principles, but very politely, we should, avoid the association. If there is a marriage function, definitely we should attend. If there is some, festival, we should be with them. But in all ways, we should know how much to associate with them and how much is my relationship with Krishna and Guru and how much is my relationship with them. If we just understand this, and we should be compassionate to others. We should not be harsh, or we should not put them down. We should not think that, oh, I am a lotus and they all are, muddy water around me. No, कि मैं हूँ कमल हूँ बाकी सब कीचड़ है मेरे आसपास. We should not think that way also. We should not have pride that, oh, now I have come in Krishna consciousness and then I'm, great. And they are like, because they are not following Krishna consciousness, they're not worshipping the Lord, they are good for nothing. Not that way. We should have compassion. We should try to give them prasadam. We should try to be pally with them. We should try to give them books if they are ready to read. We should give them story books. Krishna book is the best book that we can give to start with, even if that book reaches that house. But in all ways, if they invite us to drink, smoke, eat meat, eat food that is unaffordable and all, then we should actually, be very open enough to tell them that this is not into my, fitting my principles. You all better continue. I might not that way. Okay. Not accepting unfit disciples, constructing many temples, or reading many books. Oh, this is one thing very important that you should not be, if a person is seriously inclined to become a disciple, the sannyasi should accept him. If money comes on its own accord, a spiritual master can construct costly temples. See why actually these instructions are be given. No, that when when uh, uh, when somebody is reading Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, and somebody will today or tomorrow reach on the guru level, definitely, uh, you know we don't see our students as only students. We see them as future gurus also, or future teachers also, right? So because, like, I remember when I was doing Bhakti Shastri in Vrindavan that time, Her Grace Lakshmi Moni Mataji was there to teach us, and she taught us TTC 1 and 2 as well. So when she was teaching that time, she said, I'm not seeing you as students, I'm seeing you as future teachers of Bhakti Shastri. And that was her vision at that point of this, way back in 2006. Right. So if somebody is reading this, okay, and he happens to become a spiritual master. Because I remember in my batch, there were two such Prabhujis who later on became, immediately they became sannyasis. So I was, His Grace, His Holiness Ram Govind Maharaj was there. And there was one more Maharaj who became a Maharaj. I don't remember his name, but he's in down south right now in Chennai. So he also became a sannyasi, like that. So these instructions are from that point of view that tomorrow, if you become a sannyasi and you have to accept disciples, then we should not become overly greedy for money. If it is coming on its own accord, okay, the spiritual master can construct temples. However, one must do these things only for the sake of spreading Krishna consciousness and not for increasing one's name and fame and reputation. Like if you see, Srila Prabhupada, he constructed 108 temples all around the world. But uh, he did not say that I have constructed this. He actually gave the credit to his spiritual master and Krishna. He never said that these are my disciples. He always said that my spiritual master has sent you all to help me in this mission of the Lord. He did not even say that this is my mission. He always said that it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, right? Similarly, a qualified person can study the literature of a great acharyas, but his motive must be to purify his heart, not to deliver lectures intended to impress others. False prestige is harshly opposed to bhakti. Avoiding it is an integral item of sadhana. See, name and fame है ना, बोले ना कि क्या पूजा लाभ प्रतिष्ठा शुक्रेर विष्ठा. Puja, love, and pratishtha, name, fame, and all these prestige and all. This is exactly as a stool of a hog. It should be compared to the stool of a hog. And we don't want all this. We just want to make, like I was talking to my sister yesterday, that only that we should make Krishna our inner world. So much of externals we've been actually looking out for, but we've never turned inwards. Let us, in this Purushottam month, turn inwards and make Krishna our eternal home, or Krishna our inner world. And instead of let the mind move outward, let it move inward as such. So that's how, we should be in that bhav that tomorrow maybe, somebody, you might come across some person who's ready to give some land to ISKCON. So we should not think that, okay, I will my own construct, and this is made by me only. I only went and got this land approved, and we got this land for ISKCON. That what do you say? Pride we should not have, or false prestige ki abhilasha we should not have. Next is what is actually Prabhupada saying is principle is that my god brothers criticize me that I have allowed women to live in our temples. This is not done in India. Only brahmacharis can live. But I have become successful because I have made his adjustment. He's made a small adjustment. Although they criticize me, their Gaudiya mats are empty. The only time they have people coming is during Gaur Purnima to Mayapur for parikrama. And who is coming for parikrama? Widows, women in white. Because I have made this adjustment, I was successful. See, only our Acharya can make or break principles. And he can adjust. So what Prabhupada adjusted that both men and women are equally important to push this movement forward. Only if men were there and if women wouldn't support, then and see, while the men used to go out and do book distribution and do collection, women used to stay in the temples and do deity worship. Caring for the deities also is important. Cooking for the deities is also important. Cooking for the devotees is also equally important. And that is why Prabhupada made this slight adjustment in the Western world. Of course, in our India, we don't have that facility, which is that my spiritual master did, make that facility 3 times. But then, there were a lot of complications and a lot of fall downs of many devotees because of the Brahmacharini ashram come thrice. And then that is why he actually stopped. He was actually with Prabhupada's mood and mission only at that time. But he tried to do some adjustment, but I think it did not work out that time. I think this was way back before even I entered Delhi. That was before 2004. 2-3 times he tried to open the brahmacharini ashrams, but women were only exploited over there, and that is why he felt very bad that no, women, they should not be taken undue advantage of women. Women should be respected. So one more detail. Shrutakirti Prabhupada, how can we tell the difference between making an adjustment and changing a principle? And check Prabhupada's answer on this. That takes a little intelligence. According to time, place, and circumstance. So, okay. Agun Jalbe. There will be fire. One day there would be fire in the Calcutta Gaudiya Math. And that fire of party interest could spread and destroy. When we were living in rented house, we could collect 200 or 300 rupees. We were living very nicely in Ulta Danga. We were happier then. But since we have been given this marble place in Bagh Bazar, there is friction between our men. Who will occupy this room? Who will occupy that room? Who will be the proprietor of this room? Everyone is planning in different ways. Everyone is trying to become Bhoktaram. It will be better to take the marble from the walls and secure money. If I could do this and print books, that would be better. Abhay felt his spiritual master speaking to him in urgency, as if asking him for help or warning him to avert disaster. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur then said directly to Abhay, Amar ichha chila kichu bai karana. I had a desire to print some books. If you ever get money, print books. Standing by Radhakund and beholding his spiritual master, Abhay felt the words deeply enter his own life. If you ever get money, print books. So this is one of. And then avoiding the study of useless books in order to earn a living or to defeat others in useless arguments. See, so many, you see this picture? So many books are there, and all these books are all nonsense books, and these books don't take us towards Krishna at all. So, a sannyasi must not be eager to make unqualified disciples, nor should he unnecessarily read books that disrespect the Lord or give discourses as a means of livelihood. Okay, let me give this seminar, and this company or these people will give me some money, or let me do this Bhagavad Katha and I will get lakhs of rupees. Not that way. See, somebody who is doing a Bhagavad Katha, any person, okay, any sannyasi, any ISKCON devotee, any brahmachari who is doing Bhagavad Katha in return of money, which means that audience will never have the heart transformation. He might just give information, but there will be no transformation in the hearts of the audience or the shrotas. And that is why, we should not be charging. Okay, if they want to give anything, let them directly give a good check to in the name of ISKCON, but not personally. See, if you see with many ISKCON gurus, when they when they actually left this world, okay, when they passed this world, they did not have any assets in their name. Like you see, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, he did not have any asset at all. If you see His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, when he left, he did not have any assets except for one Rolex watch which Prabhupada had given him, and secondly, his deities. And that too, what he said, Rolex watch should be given to a particular person. His name is His Grace Vedvyas Prabhu, who is the owner of Surya bulbs and tubes. And why Guru Maharaj gave also that watch, there is a reason behind it. When the Delhi temple was to be built, His Grace Vedvyas Prabhu used to take loan from the bank for the construction of that particular temple. He has taken loans. Initially, people did not give, donation for the building of that temple. Later on, of course, Hindujas gave 10 crores and the Jindals gave, 2, 3 crores that way. But initially, when the foundation was to be laid, that time His Grace Vedvyas Prabhu took huge amount of loans, paying interest from his own pocket. And that's how the Delhi temple was built. So that is why he said that he has helped in Srila Prabhupada's, because it was Prabhupada's desire that 17 temples be built. And the very first temple ke liye, His Grace Vedvyas Prabhu helped. So that is why that Rolex watch went to him by, that. And all his deities, he had said in his will that they will go in different temples wherever, because he's saying that if they go into the temple altar, then all my deities will be worshipped. Otherwise, if some individual will worship, then they might abandon also those deities and they might not worship. It is just kept as it is that way. And that's how the Gaunita deities went to Russia, and many other Shaligram Shilas and all, they went to Punjabi Bagh, and Pune we also have one small nice Sudarshan Shaligram Shila, a nice beautiful big Shaligram Shila, which has come to Pune temple also, and it has been worshipped very nicely as such. So the saying is that the sannyasis should not have any desire for any assets or possessions or respect or all these things. He should not earn a living through whatever discourses he is giving, right? Because the spiritual goal is, taking the disciples also back to Godhead, and the disciples follow what the spiritual master does, right? Okay, straightforward in ordinary dealings. So, straightforwardness in ordinary dealing and equilibrium in loss and gain. Okay, I had a loss in my business and now I'm doomed, and let me go and commit suicide. Not that way. We should be straightforward. That no, okay, this has come because of my own karmas. Today there is loss, tomorrow there'll be definitely profit. Sometimes a devotee must deal with practical matters of dollars and cents, ordinary dealings that tend to bring out one's cheating propensities. Therefore, one must practice honesty in one's dealings, always remaining Krishna conscious, pleasant, and straightforward. It's so important that if you see, even within ISKCON, we've seen so many devotees cheating, right? Somebody will say, okay, let's be all together, get together and, buy a land, and we can set up our own house and all. And then the main person who's bringing all, he cheats everybody and he runs away somewhere else, only taking all their money. Or somebody will say, in the name of somebody, that I know so and so temple president, I was his assistant, please give me some money, this particular temple president requires some money, in the name of the temple president somebody will cheat the innocent devotees, thinking that, oh, we are giving, to the temple president our small contribution. But what small contribution? People take 2 to 3 3 5 5 lakhs from the innocent disciples or devotees. So that shouldn't be there. That, जो वृत्ति है ना उसकी, वृत्ति means, that what do you call vritti in English? The attitude. That attitude should not be there of cheating anybody. You might have less money, but at least we live with dignity. At least we don't cheat anybody, right? That way. And not being subject to lamentation or extreme emotions. Why this picture has been kept? His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj. And in down south, he is very prominent for Varnashram Dharma. So once he was shot on his leg, and because he was not able to reach to the doctor properly on time, so one of his leg got cut. But if you see Maharaj with very great vigor on one leg, also he's preaching all around the world. And he's not lamenting, oh, I have only one leg, what can I do? No, he's not lamenting. He is happy in every situation. He is very much, grounded, and he's very much strong with his principles also. And at the same time, Maharaj is very humble also. I remember I've served him at multiple occasions in New Delhi when he used to come 4 5 days, and that time he had very less disciples. So whoever is available in the temple, they used to give seva, and I was the only person available in the temple for serving the sannyasis. But so humble his attitude was. I never felt that he is a spiritual master to so many disciples, or there was no pride, there was no anger also, there was no unnecessary any uh, quality which I saw that was negative. He did not become angry. He was very humble, very nice. Okay, you can keep it over here. Okay, you keep it over. I hope it is not very difficult for you to bring so much of prasadam. I said, no, Maharaj, it's not at all difficult, it's very easy. And your demands are very less, just 5 items is so easy to make. It's not so much of a difficulty. And at the same time, he knew how to acknowledge also the sevas. So that actually really melted my heart, seeing the humility of Maharaj, that he's so humble and so grounded and so much dedicated to Srila Prabhupada and the Supreme Lord. So, angas of sadhana bhakti is that these 24 angas serve as the door for entering bhakti. You have the right attitude, and then you follow the spiritual master, and then you follow the instructions of the spiritual master. The first three angas, taking shelter of the feet of Guru, receiving teachings after initiation, and serving the Guru with respect, are said to be the principal ones. पहले तीन most important है. Okay. Therefore, any person, say, so this is the shlok from the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Tasmad Guru Prapadyate Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Cha Nishnatam Brahmane Upasamshayam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. See, first he's realizing the conclusions of the scriptures by deeply reading again and again, and then he's able to convince us also in a very easy manner. Maybe sometimes if a layman is reading the scriptures, he might find it very difficult. But to come down to the disciples level and speak, that is the beauty of the spiritual master, or that is the expertise of the spiritual master, that how he comes down to our level and he gives us these principles. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be a bona fide spiritual masters. So leaving all aside material consideration means what? I'm a father, I'm a husband, I am a brother, everything they have left. And they have completely dedicated their lives for spreading the mission of the Lord and their gurus. So the remaining 44 angas, that is the whole body, 11 items, voice, how it should be, how you should speak, what you should eat, what you should smell, what you should touch, what you should see, what you should hear, what should be there in the mind, 9 items for the mind. We'll be seeing very shortly. And some mixed 3 items, and 5 important items are again repeated, right? So then he's saying that avoiding nam aparad. If one's heart does not change, tears do not flow from his eyes, his body does not shiver, and his bodily hairs do not stand on end as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it should be understood that his heart is as hard as an iron. This is due to his offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. So, if we are not chanting sincerely, see, his Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, what he says that if somebody wants to make his heart soft, okay, which means what making the heart soft means when you're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, uh, you should have tears flowing, not artificial, but very genuine and natural tears flowing out of separation from the Lord. Why does somebody cry? Somebody cries out of separation, right? So he says that repentance is the key for, uh, you know, um, eradicating all the offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. So, as and when you're chanting and we are thinking that how low I am, how the bauchi I am, and how sinner I am, that have done so many great sins, and still the Lord is accepting me. Still, the Lord has come in this form of the Harinam. Still, the Lord has given me the association of devotees. Still, the Lord has given me a bona fide spiritual master. What mercy! What is the who can be more merciful than the Supreme Lord? And me being a biggest sinner in this world, still he is providing me with all these resources and facilities and different devotees as such. So when you are repenting for all what you have done in the past, maybe sometime you must have hurt some devotees also, sometime you must have hurt your spiritual master also, sometimes you must have said something to the Supreme Lord also. That repentance is the key, to offenselessly chant the holy names of the Lord. And when one is repenting, seriously repenting, then only from Nam Aparad to Nam Abhas to Shuddha Nam he can come. And when he starts chanting Shuddha Nam, at that point of time, tears will flow from his eyes. Why? Because he's completely crystal clear in his heart. And when he's crystal clear in his heart, he only has gratitude for the Lord. And this is the way of avoiding Nam Aparad. That we repent, and we repent. Sometimes the Mahabhagavad does not manifest such symptoms as tears in the eyes, whereas sometimes the Kanishta Adhikari displays them artificially. This does not mean the Kanishta is more advanced than the Mahabhagavad. The test of real change of heart that takes place when one chants Hare Krishna mantra is that one becomes detached from material enjoyment. To the degree you become detached from material enjoyment, that is the test of advancement. To that degree, you keep on advancing. Bhakti parishanu viraktir anyatra. This is the test. Okay, I'm chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. How much detachment I have with these sense objects? Are these sense objects attracting me, or are they, alluring me, or the Harinam is attracting me, or the Harinam is completely captured my heart? That is the test. Okay, so we just finished this. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Just stopping sharing this. Because I need to end this and start another one. Let me share. Fine. So we just come to the Seva Aparadha. See, if you see what we have seen is that not being subject to lamentation or other extremes, okay? So now there are some Seva Aparads also, what is accepting, what is only necessary. And, if one makes vows that are his ability, then, we should not break those vows and all, okay? Um, and we should not think that, okay, I've broken, but we should try to have our spiritual practices, all these, which we have seen. Now, What is the essence of sadhana? The essence of sadhana means practice, right? So every day we are practicing to fix our mind on Krishna. And an offense is something that is taking away our mind from Krishna by minimizing its importance, right? So when I'm doing my sadhana, I'm fixing. See, every sadhana that you do, okay, when you're chanting, when you're doing deity worship, when you're offering food, when you're making garlands, when you're making, jewelry for the Lord, or when you're distributing books, or doing collection, or giving a class, or preaching to new people, what is the whole idea? That yena kena prakarena, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. My full consciousness should be fixed on Krishna. But then if I'm making offenses, okay, to so there are two types of offenses. One is seva aparad and one is nam aparad. Offenses in deity worship, that is towards the deities. Okay, this is specifically for those pujaris who are, who are worshipping the Lord day in and day out, right? And nam aparad. Offenses is chanting of the holy name. We know the 10 offenses, right? That, okay. So, what is the relative importance of each? Seva Aparad is less serious than Namaprad because the power of the holy name automatically corrects the offensive mentality generated by Seva Aparad. Okay. So, if somebody is doing Seva Aparad and he is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, automatically that will be, corrected. This does not mean one will be neglectful in deity worship, knowing that the holy name will save him. Employing the holy name like a rag to mop up the filth of one's sin. ऐसे नहीं है ना कि holy name एक पोछा है. पोछा means what? It's like a mop, है ना? Okay, I'll do some aparad and I'll wipe it out with the holy name. No, employing the holy name like a rag to mop up the filth of one's sins is an offense to the holy name, deliverance from which is very difficult. Chanting will eradicate sins, but if one offends the holy name, no chance of being delivered. है ना? So, uh, it is very, very important that we do not offend the holy name. See, offending the holy name means what? A holy name is a person, and he's Krishna. Krishna is a person. And in any way, subtle way, also, we should not offend the Supreme Lord or his devotees or whatever is connected with the Supreme Lord. We should not offend that also. So, what are the offenses to be avoided? Avoiding seva and nam aprad, illustrated in the Vara Purana. The devotee should avoid the offenses in deity worship described by me, O earth, at all times with great care. Actually, he's speaking to Mother Bhumi. So, seva aparad, okay. So, a person who commits all offenses, that is seva aparad, is freed from all those offenses by taking complete shelter of Lord Hari, by chanting. A person who is a two-legged animal who commits offenses against Hari, again he can also take shelter of Hari. Okay. A person who, though the name is the friend of all, by committing an offense against the name only, you are committing an offense, then he will fall to the lower regions. Okay. That way. So, what are the benefits of deity worship? What is the significance of, significance of the Lord descending in the deity form? The form of the Lord as worshipped in the temple is called Archa Vigraha or Archa Avatara. The worshipable form, the deity incarnation. The deity form is a spiritual form of Lord visible to our material eyes so that we can serve him and awaken love for him. Because Krishna is a person and we need to love a person. I cannot love my cupboard over here. I cannot love, the AC that I have over here. I cannot love, the walls that are there, right? I need a person to love. So we need a person to awaken our lost or the dormant love that we have. All neophytes must therefore engage in the worship of the Lord by keeping the archa vigraha at home or in the temple. See, if you cannot keep at home, then we should go and serve the deity in the temple. That doesn't mean that you go and serve the deity inside the altar only. Outside the altar also there are many services of the Lord, like washing their plates and washing their upchara plates, and mopping the floor, or cooking for the Lord, bringing vegetables for the Lord, bringing fruits for the Lord, bringing grains for the Lord. All these things are also actually directly serving the Lord, not necessary that you enter the altar and then you serve. So these certain small sevas you can pick up in your own respective temples. That what can I do? What can I serve? What is that one consistent service that I can take in a week for an hour or two, that I can serve the Supreme Lord? So we should engage in the worship of the Lord, whether it be washing dishes or washing the floors, or in Vrindavan, I have seen that these women, no, you must have seen actually in Vrindavan, what these women do is that because they light many lamps in front of the Lord, so those lamps are brought outside, and they are washed very nicely with brasso, or with some, you know, citric acid or something like that, and they shine it very nicely. And that's how women can serve in uh, Vrindavan or any other temple also as such. So with these are very, or during Chandan Yatra or Chandan days, they can, uh, make the chandan paste for the Lord, giving him a cooling effect. Then somebody can, do flower seva also, making garlands for the Lord, making jewelry for the Lord, making, uh, or purchasing jewelry for the Lord, or making dresses for the Lord, or buying cloth for that dress, buying regularly, the motis and the pearls and the diamonds for the dress of the Lord. So many things are there if somebody wants to engage in the worship, and that is equally considered as worship. It's not like that if you're offering arti, and if you're in the altar, if you're dressing the Lord, that is only deity worship. No, anything that from outside you're providing inside, that is also considered as deity worship. Okay, so if we cannot do at home this deity worship, we can only have photographs, and we can only wipe those photographs very nicely, wipe that particular place, and 2 or 3 times in a day offer arti. At least two big artis we should offer, like and simple artis, not very elaborate artis. You can offer an incense, you can offer a lamp, you can offer fruits, you can offer flowers, and you can offer tulsi. These 5 things you can offer to the Lord morning and evening, right? And some you can do this basic, whatever you're eating, you offer it to the Lord. So that also becomes deity worship in your home. But if somebody thinks that beyond the photographs, I want to serve the direct deity, which is a personality, and I want to see that deity being decorated nicely or dressed nicely, then we can go and do it in the temple as such. So see, all our previous acharyas, okay, Madhavacharya worshipped Udupi Krishna, right? And we know the history how, Ramanujacharya worshipped Ranganath, Shankaracharya, he worshipped Badri Vishal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped Jagannath. So what is deity worship? God is a spirit, but as Krishna reveals in the Bhagavad Gita, matter is his energy, Shakti and Shaktiman. Because we cannot perceive spirit in our present condition, I cannot perceive the Lord right now. He is a spirit, he has a form, he has a beautiful form. I cannot, because my senses are a bit uh, tinged with material impressions, right? And they're not purified, my senses right now. So Krishna allows us to see him in his deity form made of material elements, which is identical to him. So whenever there is a deity installation, then when pure devotees invite the Supreme Lord to come and reside in that deity form. But because of the love of the pure devotee, the Supreme Lord comes and resides in that deity. Personally, he comes and resides in that deity and accepts the service of all the devotees that are in that particular temple or home. Deity worship is an important process to purify a vision to see Krishna's spiritual form, tangible way to serve God directly in our present state, to gain attention and devotion in our devotional services. Deity worship is not idol worship, but is worship of the Lord according to his instructions. The Lord also has given instruction that how somebody should worship him. So see, we have so many deities and so beautiful deities we have all around the world. What is deity worship? The smiling face of the deity in the temple is beheld by the devotees as transcendental and spiritual. And the decoration of the body of the Lord is very much appreciated by the devotees. There are different procedures and rules and regulations which are followed in the temples of Vishnu. And devotees go there and see the deity, the Vigra, and spiritually enjoy the form because all of the deities are benevolent and most merciful. The devotees express their minds before the deity, and in many instances, the deity also gives answers, like in case of Sakshi Gopal. But one must be very elevated devotee in order to be able to speak with the Supreme Lord. He should be very elevated in the sense that there should be no material desire. That there should be no material sense gratification involved when he's speaking to the deity. There should be no this that, okay, I will speak to the deity and extract something from him. And the deity is not fool. The deity is the Supreme Lord, the most intelligent person. So the deity knows your mind also. So when we are speaking to the Lord, see, I always tell in my lectures also that when you go in front of the deity, what are you going to do? What should we be done before we before when we go before the deity? So first is when we go before the deity, we glorify the devotee. Oh Krishna, you're so beautiful. Today you have worn a blue colored dress which exactly resembles the sky, and you are very vast. Your mercy is very vast as the sky, just as the sky is very vast, and it can include all the jivatmas under its own umbrella. Krishna, you are also, as merciful as the sky, that you are able to actually take everyone under your shelter. Today you have worn a red color, uttari as such, and this red color is exactly, depicting your red lotus lips and your red lotus feet. Now, all that glorification we can, of course, do. Actually, I just instantly glorified seeing this picture. But when you go in front of the deity, there will be many prayers automatically which will come out from your mouth. It is not that you have to, write a script and, you have to mug up a script and go in front of the Lord. No, whatever you feel, you can just glorify the Lord. And glorifying, you can do it through Shastras also. Oh Krishna, your lotus feet are so very beautiful. Big yogis, they want to actually attain your lotus feet, but they are not able to even, get the tip of the nail also of your toe. But we devotees, we are very so fortunate enough that you are right standing in front of us into your own Archa Vigraha form, and you are giving us darshan. You are showering your mercy with your beautiful glances from your eyes and your smile, your eyebrows. Just by looking at your eyebrows, any person who is very lusty, all his lust can be, completely eradicated. Now, all these beautiful prayers, you can glorify the Lord. And then we should thank the Lord. Thank the Lord for whatever He has given us till now. Thank you, Krishna. You have given me so much of, you have just brought me near the temple. Thank you so much, Krishna, that you're giving me such beautiful association of beautiful devotees. Thank you, Krishna. You've given me such a wonderful spiritual master. Thank you, Krishna. You've given me these eyes to see you. There are so many blind people in this world who cannot see your beautiful form, and you are so merciful on me. So you're thanking, in different way. And there are many instances you can thank. Oh, thank you, Krishna. Yesterday I was in difficulty, and all of a sudden, I know you were only the one who helped me actually, and I'm convinced that you only helped me. So I'm very thankful and eternally indebted to you, Krishna. So secondly, you thank the Lord. Okay. And the third is that you reveal your heart. You reveal your dayaniya sthiti. Dayaniya sthiti means, very daya wali sthiti hai jo aapki, Krishna, I'm such a fallen soul and I don't have any taste for chanting the holy names of the Lord. I'm such a rascal that you have come in the form of your deity also. You have come in form in the name also. You're giving us a dual advantage. You are in the name form also. You are in the deity form also. And still, I'm such a rascal. I'm such a wretched sinner that I'm not able to chant your holy names with full concentration. Please help me to study the Shastras nicely, to chant your holy names nicely, to behave nicely with the devotees. Please help me, Krishna, because you are only the one who has that ability to grant me that, boon, and you're so benevolent that only you can and you help me out. Then all this, you can open up your heart, you can open up your all anarthas in front of Krishna. Krishna, I have so much of pride. Krishna, I have so much of ego. Please help me. Only you are the one who can completely, how you with your powerful nails at Lord Nrsingadev, you removed of all the intestines of Hiranyakashipu, and I am no less than an Hiranyakashipu. You can eradicate pride from me, you can eradicate envy from me. Please, with your nails, remove all that ego that I have. All these prayers you can definitely have in front of the Supreme Lord. And see, actually, prayer is a very important part of our existence. I'm telling existence. If we are not dependent only on Krishna, then how will Krishna know also that she is dependent on me? We have to speak out, we have to express that no, Krishna, I'm completely only dependent on you. आप ही मेरे आश्रय हो. I am only completely, I want to surrender to you because only you are the one who is the right person to take shelter or ashray. There's no other person from whom I can take ashray. You're the only, and I have no other option also, no other choice also to take shelter of any other person. Only I can take shelter from you only because you are the 100% right person to take shelter from. So, when Krishna को ये signal जाता है, when Krishna gets this message from your wordings, now Krishna knows कि अभी ये मेरे पे ही dependent है. अभी she is the only one that she is dependent only on me. And there are two qualities of Krishna which he will never fail in providing that. Okay, so those two qualities are Krishna, the भगवान का दो qualities ये है कि anybody who comes and takes shelter of the Lord or surrenders to him, he will protect and he will provide. And with these two things, he will never fail. वो कभी, हिंदू को बोलते वो कभी अपनी इस दो जिम्मेदारियों से चूकते नहीं हैं. He will not fail in these two responsibilities, and this is his nature, this is his swabhava. He cannot fall from this nature, and that is why he's called Achyuta. So kuch bhi ho, he will protect you and he will provide for you. And that is why he himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto ma ye jana parupashate tesham nitya bhyuktamam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will provide what you lack and I will protect what you already have. These are the two, qualities of Krishna which he does not shirk away from. Anybody who surrenders to the Supreme Lord. Okay, then next is sometimes the Lord informs the devotee through dreams. These exchanges of feelings between the deity and the Lord are not understandable to atheist, but actually the devotee enjoys them. Like if you see in Jagannath Puri, the pujari will get dreams, some devotee will get some dream, the king will get some dream, right? Or in this Sakshi Gopal, Katha also, there are direct exchanges between the Lord and his devotees. So, why these exchanges will be there and how these exchanges will be there is that when somebody is completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, उसके पास कोई material consideration नहीं होगा. He will not have any material desires. His only desire is to serve the Supreme Lord unalloyedly, without any expectations. No, I want to just serve the Lord. And whether Krishna wants to give or not give, I don't care. If he gives me, okay. If does not give me, okay. My relationship with will be that I always want to please him only. I don't want to see anybody else's pleasure other than my own Lord's pleasure. So now with this frame of mind, when we worship, that is basically unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Why we say unalloyed? That they don't want anything from Krishna. They don't want dhanam dehi, janam dehi, putri dehi, kanchan kamini dehi. They don't want anything. They only want to serve the Lord. And that is why in our Hare Krishna Mahamantra also, what we are begging, O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your loving devotional service. See, this is the samskara which we are injecting into our consciousness on a daily basis. That, hey Radha, hey Krishna, I just want to engage in your loving devotional service. I don't want anything beyond all this. Other everything is jo hai wo, it is secondary. My primary thing is that I want to only serve you. I want to only serve you and please you. I want to see a smile on your face by doing services to you. That should be our motive. And that is equally with our spiritual masters also. Same bhav should be there. Not that, spiritual master will take away all my sins and then he will bless me to do a very good business and he will bless me to have, many children, or he will help me materially also to have contacts here and there and get a good job and get a good business. No, that shouldn't be our, aim with our spiritual masters. Okay, benefits of deity worship: saves from hellish attraction. And what are these hellish attractions? These hellish attractions are attraction of the opposite sex, attraction for material objects, sense objects, gratifying our senses. Only attention engaged in the service of the Lord, especially in dressing and decorating the temple, accompanied by musical kirtan and spiritual instructions from the scriptures, can save the common man from hellish cinema attractions and rubbish sex songs broadcast everywhere by radios. So it is saving us from different hellish attractions. And Prabhupada is saying that what are those hellish cinema attractions and rubbish sex songs, Hindi songs or English. In America also, that time they had very rubbish sex songs going on, which are by in those time they had radios. But today what we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have WhatsApp, so many things we have, so many hells we have. And every day people are diving into different hells and they get addicted and then they want to swim in that only, hell of those wells, right? Infuses mundane mind with spiritual inspiration, subtle body. So, see, visiting the temple of a devotee and looking at the profusely decorated forms of the Lord, well dressed in a well decorated, sanctified temple, naturally infuses the mundane mind with spiritual inspiration. See, why did Srila Prabhupada establish so many temples? Because he knew that the temple is a temple are doors to Vaikuntha. Oh, sorry, windows to Vaikuntha. Of course, doors also to Vaikuntha. When you come to a temple, uh, and you see the deities and you see devotees, you come to know, oh wow, these are exactly Vaikuntha people. Vaikuntha, there is no anxiety. There is always smiling faces seen everywhere. Nobody's in an anxiety. Everybody is doing kirtan, everybody is dancing. So people get that, trailer of the Vaikuntha planet. And that is why Srila Prabhupada emphasized on building temples. And his disciples have very much taken up this instruction to that. See, this instruction was given by Srila Prabhupada's own spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Now, that same instruction Prabhupada is following. Prabhupada's disciples are also following. They have taken up his mood and mission, and you see so many different gurus are building so many different temples all around the world. When Prabhupada left, only 108 temples were there. Now there are 1800 temples all around the world. Imagine, see, generally when an acharya leaves, the whole building collapses or the whole organization collapses. But because here is a bona fide acharya who gave bona fide instructions, who had bona fide disciples, and who are carrying forward this movement, and that is why the organization is increasing in leaps and bounds. Had Srila Prabhupada only not been, pure in his intentions and taken up the mood and mission of his spiritual master, I don't think so. We would also be existing over here. I mean, I staying in Pune. If Pune did not only have an ISKCON temple, I don't think so I would be a devotee also and speaking right away to you. So much of our gratitude is there for Srila Prabhupada, who actually tirelessly actually toiled for all of us, for the future generations. And that's what he said, that uh, ISKCON will be there for 10,000 years to come. And this is his prophecy as such. Okay, let's go to the next. Benefits of devotive good engagement for gross body. The path of Archana, worship of the Lord in the temple, involves engaging gross body in the service of the Lord. See, when the gross body is involved, and the subtle body also gets engaged. And then the soul also gets satisfied. It's like a connection. Because this gross body, has the tendency of, seeing outwards, firstly, and getting attracted towards sense objects. But over here now, the same gross body is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So now the gross body is trained कि नहीं अभी आपके पैर जाएंगे तो सिर्फ मंदिर तक ही जाएंगे, आपके हाथ दिन में उठते ही जो है वो बीड बैग में जाएंगे, आपकी आंखें जो है दर्शन करने के लिए जाएगी भगवान के, all your the whole body is utilized in Krishna service, right? And it is purifying existence. The more we are engaged in decorating the deities, washing the room, the more we engage in deity worship, the more we become purified. This is practical. And release from sense agitation. Freedom from anxiety of mind and agitation of the senses. Sorry, I'll just give me a minute. Okay. If one simply deposits all of his or her loving propensity into the deity of Krishna, immediately they are relieved of anxiety due to material sense agitation. So see, when somebody is doing regularly deity worship, okay, whether it is in the house or in the temple, then there'll be no anxiety only for that person. Oh, how will my children get education? Oh, how will I, spend my, old age? Oh, how will I, earn money? Or will I get a success in my business or not? Or will I get promotion in my job or not? All that anxiety, jo hai na, you will be completely surrendered that Krishna is there to provide and protect. I don't need to worry at all. He's there. And that is his headache now to protect and provide. My responsibility is just to worship him with loving devotional service. That's it. Gives constant remembrance of the Lord. Engagement. See, when somebody is doing deity worship now, his whole day actually goes in meditating. Okay, now, what dress tomorrow will, Krishna wear, or what jewelry will he wear, what garlands will we be making, or what will, or even in your home also, if you're doing deity worship, okay, oh, tomorrow I will, dress the Lord in this particular dress. Then what pagdis will I wear? Then even related to from where will I get, the cloth? Where will I get it designed? Which tailor will I go to? What jewelry will I make for the Lord? What cloth will I purchase to, tie the turban of the Lord? What will be the turban pieces or the fans? Or what will be the necklaces that Krishna will be wearing on the pagdi? Or the motis, everything, what happens, somebody who is worshipping, deities, तो उसका पूरा दिन इसमें ही चला जाता है, is exactly like, you have a child in your house, and then you are the mother of that child, and all the time constantly you're thinking of the child. Okay, now it's time to, feed the DT, or the time to feed my child. What should I make? I should make this, I should make that, go to the market, buy vegetables. Actually, you are 24 by 7 thinking about this DT as a child all the time. And then कहते हैं, see like what Prabhupada is saying. The Arjuna Marg, or the devotional paths prescribed in the Pancharatra system of devotional service for worshipping the deity in the temple makes the devotee think constantly of the Lord. That is samadhi or trance. One who practices in this way cannot deviate from the service of the Lord, and that makes him perfect in the mission of the human life. So, kitna acha hai कि all the time he's thinking about the Lord. So, enables one back home back to God. See that only 2-3 slides more or left. Please be, online only. Don't go away. Archana Padati, daily worship of the deity, provides an opportunity to touch the body of the Supreme Personality of Lord, and thus it enables one to be fortunate enough to get a spiritual body to. Dekho, Krishna is like a touchstone na. So if I touch Krishna, then even I become purified. And because Krishna has a spiritual body which is Sat Chitan Anand, then even I get a spiritual body which is Sat Chitan Anand, and then I can go back home, back to Godhead. Such benefits, such wonderful benefits are there. And it's not only in the temple, even if you have deities at home, let's value those deities. Let's find out. Of course, I'm telling myself also that I have actually Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and I have a big group of Shaligram Shīlas also, and Govardhan Shīla also. Then all the time, if you're thinking about the deity and the well-being of the deity, and addressing the deity and making them look beautiful, and seeing how they look beautiful and how they are satisfied and all that, so the whole day the consciousness is rolling in that only. And apart from my own deity worship, I go and actually do deity worship in the temple also, dress the deities also, and do some puja, archana, and some backup service also, and as such. So all the one realization that I have is that I go on every Tuesdays to dress the deity. And when I come back, because we go at night, Shayan Darshan, when we dress the deity is very beautiful. When we come back, actually, we don't feel like, and this is the experience of all the ladies who are there, we all don't get sleep only. We come home by 10:30, quarter to 11, because we're just staying near the temple. But it's so that till 12 o'clock, 12:30, we don't get sleep. Other all times we get sleep by 9, 9:30, 10. But that day when we dress the DT and we come, I don't know what is that thing that 20-25 Matajis are there on different days, like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and as such. They all have only one statement, that we don't get sleep when we go back. So that is the, power of deity worship, that you're so bliss. The heart is so satisfied. The heart is so blissful that you don't get sleep only. Krishna captivates you somehow or the other. So benefits of deity worship more: imperceptible liberation. Srila Prabhupada explains, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotee is absorbed in the thought of him and loses all other consciousness. सारी सुध बुध खो बैठते हैं, सिर्फ deity को देखते हैं. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the sense in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. Even the third class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the absolute truth sees the Lord in the temple, simply offers obeisance with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, bring forth flowers and fruits to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. See, sometimes, when I am doing deity worship at night, no, there are many people who bring flowers and, other things. And what does the pujaris, those who are before us, they actually push it aside on a particular table. And then we have to make the deity sleep on their bed. And but before sleeping, we have to, spread some petals on that bed and make them comfortably sleep on that bed. So what I generally do is, I feel that, okay, let that non-devotee get that benefit. So whatever flowers he has bought now, we will spread it on that bed. So that devotee, that yet to become a devotee, will benefit from that. And somehow or the other, if the Lord is pleased with him, he comes into Krishna consciousness and he starts chanting and becomes a full-fledged devotee. That bhav also, to assist also to yet to become a devotee, so that the Lord is pleased with his small offering that he has bought of a flower or a fruits. We actually put it into the DT kitchen so that they are next day utilized for making juice for the Lord 3 times or 4 times that way. That person will become liberated, and with that we will also become liberated. So now, what are some of the offenses to be avoided in DT worship is entering the Lord's temple in a palanquin or with shoes. Of course, we know that Indians don't need to be taught this. Not observing the festivals of the deity, like Janmashtami hai, Ram Navami hai, Sita Navami hai, Gaur Punim hai, or Nityanand Trayadashi, not observing the fast festivals and fasting also on those. Not offering obeisances in front of the Lord. You just enter like a guest, and you just join your two hands. No, you have to offer obeisances. There is a science behind offering obeisances, and this is the demand of the Lord. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhya jiva namaskaru. Krishna is demanding that, because when we bow down to the Lord, we bow down our ego also to the Lord. That way, we have so much of ego filled, but then at least one person ke saath we bow down. Offering praise to the Lord in an unclean state, not having a bath, or having kuch to you have munched and you come to the temple, or without washing properly, your feet or something like that. Offering respect with one hand, circumambulating in front of the Lord. Circumambulating in front of the Lord means what? You circumambulate yourself only in front of the Lord. Hai na? Spreading the legs in front of the deity. It is an insult to the deity or any senior Vaishnava also. Clasping the hands on the knees in front of the deity. You put your hand, you take your knee up, and then you sit like a saint, like that. Lying down in front of the deity, eating in front of the deity, telling lies in front of the deity, speaking loudly in front of the deity. I'm sorry. What did I do? Huh. Sitting with one back to the deity. You should not put your back to the deity. Okay. Addressing others in front of the deity. Addressing others means what? Either glorifying them or criticizing them. Okay. Praising oneself in front of the deity. Apni hi, donkey praising his own tail in front of the deity. I'm a donkey, that's what I'm saying. Being silent in front of a guru. Okay. See, being silent in front of a guru means what? You glorify the guru. Guru Maharaj, you're so merciful, you're so compassionate that you accepted me as your disciple. I did not deserve to be your disciple, but you kindly accepted me. Criticizing the deity. Oh, the deity does not look so good today. What they have done, the deity is looking like something odd. No, not that way. So these are some of the 32 offenses against Lord Vishnu. Then, in Vara Purana offenses which are found and listed is summary. Eating a king's food, touching the deity in the dark, approaching the deity without proper rules, opening the deity door without the sound of a music or a bell. Like, you clap 3 times or you ring the bell. Okay. That deity door. Okay. Gathering food offerings seen by a dog. Breaking the silence during the worship. Breaking silence means what? You call out somebody or you yell at somebody, is like that. You have to be very silent in when you're doing deity worship. Going to pass stool during deity worship. You're dressing the deity and you say, okay, I'll go to the washroom and come back. Offering incense without having first offered ganda, garlands, and other items. Okay, na? So this ganda, garland, and all, they should be offered first. Worshipping the deity with forbidden flowers. It's suke flowers, dried flowers, no smell. See, this is one of the very big aparadha, okay? You should not offer flowers which don't have smell. Right, na? If somebody gives you a flower which has no smell, what do you think? Hey, it's an insult to me. You think I'm such fallen person that you're giving me, this? This is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj had told. Somebody offered him a flower which did not have, smell. So he said that we should not offer flowers to the spiritual master or to the deity which do not have a smell. You should offer those flowers to the deity and the spiritual master which has nice, good smell, right? Worshipping the deity without having brushed one's teeth. Oh God, you go in, you are dressing the deity with a bad, a smell in your mouth. How bad it is, the deity will also run away from you. Worshipping after touching a woman in menstrual period, a lamb or a dead body. Wearing red cloth, blue cloth, unwashed cloth, soiled cloth, or another person's cloth. Somebody is worn and you wear that sari. or you wear the dhoti or uttari like that. Not that way. Okay. Why red cloth and blue cloth not wearing in front of the deity? Why? Because these are into tamogun and rajogun. That is why. Okay. Worshipping the deity after seeing a dead body. So you should have a bath and you should clean yourself and then actually worship the deity. Okay. Passing air before the deity, or you can say farting before the deity. Worshipping after showing anger. You have recently scolded your child or your wife or your husband, and then you come and worship the deity. No. Worshipping after visiting the crematorium. Worshipping with undigested food in the stomach. That is why when I go to do deity worship, I have my dinner by almost, you can say, 6 o'clock. And by the time you touch the deity, it's 9 o'clock. So by the time that food is digested. Worshipping after eating pork, duck, or hing or kusuma leaves. Oh, this is something really bad. Touching the deity after taking an oil bath. Committing these acts leads to hell. My God, this is so bad. And elsewhere it is said, worshipping the deity without following the Vaishnava scripture, advocating other scriptures, chewing tambula in front of the Lord. And somebody, I remember once somebody came into the temple, he came, he straight walked and he was, chewing tambula in front of the Lord. I said, भगवान जो नाराज है कि आप उनके सामने चाव चाव चाव, आपका ही बेटा अगर आपके सामने आएगा और पान चबाते हुए आएगा और आपको कुछ बोलेगा, आपको कैसे लगेगा? वैसे ही भगवान को लगता है. Worshipping the Lord with flowers placed on the leaves of a castor oil plant. No, this is completely rejected. Worshipping during inauspicious periods, the Shubha Labh and all. Worshipping the Lord while sitting on the floor or a chair. You should not worship the Lord, while bare floor pe nahi worship karna hai. Okay. There should be a asana or something like that. And chair, see, when you're old, and when you're completely crippled, then Krishna understands. Okay, oh, he's become old. Like if you see, if you must have seen any video of my spiritual master, he used to sit on the chair because he was not able to stand for a very long time. Right? So that's how, these exceptions are considered when you really become old. Like for Śrīla Sanatan Gosvāmī, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you become very old, you just accumulate this particular Shīla and, it will be considered as, as good as accumulating Govardhan hill that way. Touching the deity with the left hand during bathing. Your left hand is a very inauspicious hand. And because with left hand we do so many other, unwanted tamogun things. That is why you should not bathe the deity you should not touch the deity with the left hand. Okay. Worshipping the Lord with withered flowers or obtained by begging. Withered flowers यानी क्या? फटे फुटे flowers है. Okay. और आपने किसी से beg किया हुआ है. That way. Spitting during the worship. Oh God, this is completely, this. Okay. Yes, for Gadadhar Pandit, the deity himself sat, right. Showing arrogance while worshipping, arrogance means what? That somebody, just command somebody, hey, you don't know this much also. Come on, pick up this. Come on, sweep the floor. Come on, soap the floor. That is called arrogance. You should request, but you should not order. Wearing horizontal tilaka. Oh, this is something very bad. Horizontal tilaka means, the Shivites wear this tilaka. But we wear vertical tilaka, right? That way. Entering the temple with unwashed feet, offering the deity food cooked by a non-Vaishnava. See, if somebody is not following the four regulative principles and eating meat and onion garlic, that food should not be. Worshipping within the sight of a non-Vaishnava. That is why we close the doors of the altar, no? And we worship the Lord. Worshipping within the sight of a non-Vaishnava. Worshipping without first worshipping Vignesha. Worshipping after seeing a tantric. Bathing the deity with water touched by fingernails. Of course, I'm going to send these, PPTs to you all. Worshipping while perspiring. Elsewhere, many other offenses are listed, such as stepping over the used garlands and flowers and cursing or scolding the deity. My God, this is really bad. Okay, this list is found in Haribhakta. Though Devta worship is condemned, no commentator has explained the inclusion of this item. Vignesha refers to Ganesha in most cases. However, Sri Vaishnavas substitute worship of Vignesha for Ganesha worship. Satkriya Sara Dipika says that to worship Vignesha or the 4 Kumaras instead. These are found in the Narasimha Purana and the Vishnu Dharmottara. Okay, this is the last 2 slides are left. What does Prabhupada have to say on Ganesha Puja? The Ganesha Puja may not be performed. No, it is not to be done. No need of it. So far, worshipping Ganesha is concerned, that is not necessary. Not that it should be done on a regular basis. If you like, you can pray to Ganpati for removing all the impedance on the path of Krishna consciousness. That you can do if you like. Okay. And then there is this letter, last letter that is there. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam. So why you want to worship someone else? Krishna himself recommends Mam Ekam, he alone. Therefore, we must do that. If one wants to water the tree, he waters the root. Of course, if one has got some sentiment for achieving the blessings of Ganesha, for accumulating large sums of money to serve Krishna, then he may perform this Ganesha worship privately, not making a public show. But first of all, he must give me $1 lakh per month, not a single farthing less. He can supply this amount per month. Then he will be allowed to do Ganesha Puja. Otherwise, he should not do it. It will not be good. This is my order. So Prabhupada sometimes says, this is my order. You have to sound. So all of you keep yourself strong in Krishna consciousness by following all my basic principles. That is the utmost importance. Do not fail to chant 16 rounds. Rise early. Come to Mangala Arti. Come to the classes and follow the 4 regulative principles. In this way, your life will become free from anxieties. Please try to distribute my books in huge quantities more and more. This is very much satisfying to me. I hope this meets in good health. So, Prabhupada is very, particular. Regarding Ganesha Puja, I have received some letters from persons requesting to also perform it. I have explained to them that ultimately it is not required. But if you have some sentiment to get that blessing of Ganesha in order to get that huge sum of money, then you have to give me these $100, $1 lakh, not less. So this is to Guru Kripa Maharaj that time. So yes, we have finished this, some good chapters as such. If you'll have any doubts, queries, questions, you all are most free to ask me. So see, what is my plan? Give me 1 minute, okay? I want to stop this and put a gallery view. See, what is my plan is that I want to complete our NOD sections as fast as possible. I was supposed to complete 3 PPTs today, but I could complete only 2 because there's a lot of explanation also required as such. And if we see the calendar, give me a minute, I'll share the calendar also with you all. Okay. So we have 16th May and we have completed with almost 8 chapters. And we have 8 chapters more to go. Okay. Some chapters are very fast, like, 2, 3 chapters I completed today only. Like I completed the 6th, 7th, and 8th because they were like, only rules and regulations. The angas were there as such. And some chapters are very intense, like Raganuga Bhakti will come up, Ragatmika Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti will come up. These 3 chapters are very intense chapters. So my plan is that this is May month, 23, 30th, and 6th June. And then is coming up with sorry, this is 6th June, 7 June. By July, you can say I'm targeting July 18th I should complete everything. Okay. July 18 will complete, and then in the month of August, when do we have Janmashtami? Janmashtami we have in September, I think. 4th September we have. By July we should finish, and in September, before Janmashtami we should have the examination so that we can celebrate Janmashtami very nicely as such. Okay, so then we'll complete with our.
Mataji, you have to take instructional slokas Also.
Yeah. That all we'll finish by August only. Before Janmashtami will complete. Okay. In fact, we can do that way also. That we can have एक second. I said August का जरा निकालती हूँ मैं. We can have examination on 22nd August and shloka recitation on 29th. I think in Nectar of Instruction, I think there are only 4 shlokas for recitation. There are not many shlokas for recitation also. So what? 22nd you'll give your written exam and 29th you give me your shloka test. Before Janmashtami, we are completely ready for it, like as such. Okay.
So,
Mataji,
Mataji,
we'll
I
have
didn't understand.
NOI.
Hmm?
Mataji, we'll have NOI, NOD shloka together.
Yeah, we'll have NOI, NOD shloka together because NOI is only again 4 shlokas, NOI to 4 shlokas, 8 shlokas. That way. ठीक है ना?
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So we halt over here. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Pāda ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.